Hello everyone, my name is David. Thank you for joining me today to the Q&A Mondays. This is a question and answer video, and I want to welcome, first of all, new subscribers, welcome everybody, and new viewers. What I'm doing is answering people's questions that they asked me in the last Q&A last Monday. And then just go down in the comment section, ask me anything you want, I'll answer them next Monday in the next Q&A. So all I ask you guys, please give us your locations. I am really interested to know where you guys are at. I like to see how far this reaches, that it's everywhere. It's not just certain, people or certain communities, certain countries. It's wherever people are, there is emotional abuse, narcissism, stuff like that. So if you could give us your location so we all know where you're at, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. Something I like to mention every once in a while is something called Shane's Law Petition. For those of you who don't know already, Shane was somebody who suffered from a very, very long smear campaign, a public smear campaign. And him and his wife suffered for so long, and Shane couldn't find any help, anything at all, any information, didn't know what to do, and he took his own life. And somebody started a petition to make it a law that this stuff has to stop. This kind of public attacking on people needs to cease. So if you guys, no matter where you are, if you could follow the link down below that says Shane's Law Petition, it'll take you to the petition where you can simply sign it and say that you believe this is a good thing and promote it. Even if you're not in the United States, it would help to get things like this going in other countries, and hopefully that'll spark something where you're at if you don't already have laws against things like that. Thank you very much. Recommendations. I like to recommend something every Q&A. This is a book this time. It's by Cheryl M. Bradshaw, and it's called How to Like Yourself. And this is about self-esteem, worthiness, things like this. After suffering emotional abuse, no matter what, we have feelings of shame. Either that's something we brought into the relationship and which is something that grew bigger in the relationship, and afterwards we're suffering from this, and shame makes us feel unworthy. And I talk about how to help these things, and I truly believe talk therapy, some sort of talk therapy, is the only way to alleviate all shame. But there are things that you can do and should be doing to bring up your self-worth and value and self-esteem. This is a good book. She seems like she knows what she's doing. She does direct this book a little bit towards teenagers, but I think that's great. I looked into it a little bit and read some of it, and it seems like that is a great place to start, because that's where a lot of these feelings at least began for most of us. I always talk about our childhood, and I stem these kinds of decisions we make to date abusers for a long time and not leave them, stemming from our childhood and shame. And it really starts to play out as we become teenagers, and then in adulthood. I think this is a good place to start. I think this is good readings. Cheryl has been featured in various television shows, radio shows, podcasts, including Breakfast Television, Global's The Morning Show, CBC Radio, and Today's Parent. Her book was also selected as a 2016 Forward Indies finalist for the 2016 Young Adult Nonfiction category. In addition, Cheryl has received the inaugural Outstanding Alumni Award from Yorkville University in 2017. So she's accomplished, she's credited. If you're interested in this book, I will put a link down below. I believe it's the paperback version on Amazon for around $8. If you're interested, thank you. So let's get started with the questions, the Q&A. I do two parts, part one, part two. Ask your questions on either of them. Just make sure that it's on the most recent Q&A, please. If I miss your question, please ask me again. If I answer it incorrectly, I misunderstood your question, I left it incomplete, you don't understand, anything, ask me again. I don't mind. I understand there's a lot of this is going to be repetitive for people that watch this, and guess what, you guys, you probably need to hear it over and over again, a lot of some of the stuff. So please ask me anything, okay? I don't purposely miss anyone's questions. Also, if you guys have requests for videos, I try to make just about, if I haven't already, I try to make every video that people ask me to make too. Feel free. So first question is from Anna in Florida. Hello, Anna. I've been no contact from the narc for 1.5 years. Have not dated in that time, and I've totally dedicated to my recovery, focused on career, fitness, been in therapy as well, which has helped greatly. No looking on his social media, so I have no idea what he's doing. Question is, why have I been obsessively thinking about him lately and actually wanting to see him again after all this time? Fully aware of the abuse he has put me through. I feel so discouraged sometimes and feel as if I will never get past him. Also feel angry at myself for feeling this way, but just begin. I cut off the rest, but I got your question. So, why are these feelings coming back? You know, maybe they never left. You know, the thing is about memories is the memories that we remember have emotional attachment to them. So if, you know, it could be just simply as more processing, more emotions. I know that we will know something logically. It doesn't necessarily mean we have arrived there emotionally. You said that you have been to therapy and it helped. Keep going. If it helped, go back. Why not? If it helped, you said it helped greatly. Go back. Try some more. Go back to your therapist and ask them. You know, the biggest reason we obsess on something that was so big in our life, once it's gone, is because we haven't filled that void with anything else. There might be elements of codependency and stuff like this, where you've given so much of your time and your thought and yourself away that you're used to having this person in your mind and all the time. There might still be some things you don't quite understand. Okay, I know that you are maybe thinking about the good times. It might be the whole thing in general that you haven't finished with. Okay, you know, I wouldn't know exactly, Anna, unless I could work with you and I knew you and knew what was going on. But your therapist does, so maybe go back and ask them again. I think that would be a great idea. You know, something that we quite often do recovering from stuff like this is we hit plateaus. You know, we have good days, good days, and bad days, and we eventually feel like we're making progress and we get better, and eventually that kind of plateaus out and we kind of feel stuck and we're not getting any better, and it's kind of the same for a long time. And that's maybe something else you need to do, something you're not aware of, some barrier that's holding you back that you can't move on from. And that's where professionals come into play and usually, hopefully, do a great job, which you said helped you greatly. So go back, Anna, for sure. Or work with someone else even, maybe. Okay? So there's all kinds of different things that can cause this. Basically, I would imagine it's you haven't fully processed this relationship. There might be things that you don't quite understand. Maybe you haven't filled this void with something else enough. You know, I hope that makes sense. You know, I know you have other things going on in your life, but that was big. That was major. And now it's gone. Okay? And you may have added something else. Maybe you need to add more. Because that's a void for now. And if you're still thinking about him, it's still there. Right? So go back to therapy, find more things to do with your life, to take up your time and thought and stuff like that, redirecting. Okay? Our brains are wired to do what we're doing at the time. Your brain was so wired in that relationship to function in that relationship for so long. You still got to break that thing. Start doing more something else. It really does help. Thank you. Hope that helps. If not, just ask me more stuff, Shell from Chicago. Hello, Shell. What's the easiest way to explain narcissistic abuse without appearing crazy to people who have never heard of it? And wow, that's such a loaded question. I started my channel to help with that, to help people that don't know about this understand it. Hopefully, maybe this will help watching some of these videos. But I think keeping it always easier, the better. More simple, the better. Right? If you throw more things at somebody and you think it's to help them understand, you might be throwing more and more things for them to understand. Right? So instead of just trying to clarify one thing, so what do you want to get across? I think that's what's important, Shell. What would you like to get across? And so I think, wouldn't that depend on who you're telling? If you're telling your family about this experience, you want them to know the emotional suffering you've gone through. If you tell a new girlfriend about this relationship, you might want to tell her what you've done to heal from this relationship. So you just want to explain what narcissistic abuse is, okay, without appearing crazy. So we would detach the emotion part of it, maybe not explain your own personal experience as much as just trying to get across generally of what it is, right? So you're talking about emotional abuse to someone. It doesn't have to be by a narcissist. So what do you want to get across? What a narcissist is, what exactly narcissistic abuse is. Try and keep it simple. So you want to explain what a narcissist is. It's an underdeveloped person that has not finished developing the emotional part of their life. Okay, they don't have the skills to relate with people on an emotional level as well as others. Disorder means that this is extreme and that they're in less control of their behaviors. Okay. Narcissism would be, right, self-centeredness, right? My world, you're in it. Hard for me to understand what you're going through. Non-empathetic, lacking. Not gone, lacking some. Emotional abuse. What is that, right? It's to a partner, someone you have a commitment with, usually, typically, and you are lying, you're cheating. You know, we use all these slang terms. We don't need to use gaslight because then you got to explain what gaslight is. You don't have to use projection. You don't have to get in all this. It's just simple. It's lying and deceiving, exploiting your partner, exploiting vulnerabilities. It's a way for them to get what they want and need because they don't know how or they don't want to do it the healthy way on their own. They don't self-validate. They don't self-soothe. They don't do anything. They want everyone else to do it to them, for them. Okay? We have emotional needs. This is how they try to meet them. We try differently, hopefully. Hope that makes some sense. Simple. Keep it simple. The KISS method, right? If it doesn't help, let me know. Let me know. Maybe I'll try and give it a different shot. Thanks. It wasn't replied yesterday. Question, please. Hi, David. I am Stephanie from Mauritius, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Thank you so much for what you do. You are helpful. You are helping us heal. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for telling me. I'm 99% sure my ex is a narc, but still have doubt every time I hear he has a new supply. This frustrates and upsets me. The beginning of our 2 relationship, he even told me, can you believe my ex-wife told me once that I was a narcissist pervert? This is a long, big question. I'm going to skip through some of it. The discard phase was horrible. He cheated, lied, manipulated. He started accusing you, distorting your words, calling you names. Typical narcissistic behavior. 1 week after he discarded you, he was already with another girl. Then another one, again, 3 months later. You did all the tests online and you believe he's a narcissist. Your question is, he's great with his kids. He's a good father, is generous, has a brilliant career, CEO of his own company. Can he still be a narc with those attributes? Absolutely. Why not? Why not? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Many are. Many are. Things can look different, can't they? Depending on where you're standing, doesn't it? I can say all kinds of things. I can pretend and whatever. I talked about this in a video called Narcissist and Emotional Connection. And it's about it's about what's important to people. Physical attractiveness or emotional attractiveness. This would be physical attractiveness. I care about my job, my title. I care about the status of being a father. I care that everyone believes I'm generous. Maybe not so much being generous. I don't know. It just sounds like, if you're wondering this conflict, that's probably what it is. People like this will care about surface things, right? How I look or dress, brands. And I'm not saying they have to. It might be just one of these areas. They might excel completely in their career, and their identity is their position that they hold. That's it. So can he still be a narcissist? The thing is this particular personality disorder will cause the most problems in relationships. And the deeper and the longer, maybe, the more attached these relationships are, is where the problems will surface more. Not so much acquaintances, maybe even friends. As the friends get closer, then maybe. And this is on a spectrum. So he may, here's the worst narcissist, here's the least worst. And maybe, he's somewhere here. You see? Doesn't mean he's going to have every attribute, every trait, do everything every narcissist does. Not at all. It's what's important to him. How well or not well does he function? Okay? So it may be really important to him for everyone to believe, and that's his identity, that I'm a good father, that I have a great career, I'm smart, things like this. When in fact he's failing at family and relationships. He's a horrible husband and things like this. And you'll know this when he cares about what people think. So he'll do stuff to you behind closed doors, doesn't want anyone else to find out. So he obviously knows it's wrong. He shouldn't be doing it. And maybe not in control of his behavior, doesn't care. But he cares about what people think. Not so much you in your relationship. That's not important to him. But the fact that he has a wife may be important to him. The fact that he is a husband might be important to him more than being a good husband to his wife. Hope that makes sense. So I wanted to read this. I spoke to my doctors today and they said I could apply for therapy first and see how that goes before trying antidepressants. I'm feeling so embarrassed. I had to tell my next door neighbor today that I was okay as I've been grieving. It's so horrible, screaming, crying, and shouting. I've never had heartbreak like this before. My ex-narc really damaged me. Over 2 months, I'm still messed up. And all I want to say, I want to tell you I'm sorry. And guilt, shame, all products of this stuff. What you're going through is not unique, different, abnormal, weird, crazy. No. And what's going to help you even more is telling more people about this, to fight this feeling you have of guiltiness and ashamed of yourself. So you need self-compassion. I'm telling you guys, this is a stage that you guys need because it helps you with all kinds of things. It helps you realize that you were abused and how bad it really was and what you've been through, and realizing that that wasn't good to do to yourself, and that you can't let that happen again. And what you guys, all of you guys have been through this. It would be horrible if you heard someone else read your story. You have compassion for that person, and so have that same for yourself. You just have to. You just have to. And I'm sorry, but it'll help you. Tell more people, okay? Misty from Connecticut. Okay, this is big. Mine admitted to being a sociopath. He was diagnosed at 19. Anyway, he could always tell me it wasn't his fault. At first, he was amazing. Ghosted you for 2 months. I'm going to try and skim through this. You let his 4-year-old move in with you and your 18 and 19-year-old sons. His ex-wife smeared you. You got him a job. You let him live with you. You did all these things and sacrificed and compromised all this stuff for him, and it boggles your mind why you even let him back in the second time. Now you're talking about how his child is always sick, throwing up. You believe he causes grave damage to his 4-year-old. You've blocked him, still finds a way in. Sent you something today. He has a new girlfriend. Why won't he move on? He drives by your house all the time. Got a security camera on the porch. I have a feeling he was in my house before you put the camera up, because the day after you installed it, it was there. He's sick. I work with the girl he left me for. You said he was diagnosed at 19 as a sociopath. I'm not sure of your question. I'm looking for question marks. You're not sure why you left him in after he ghosted you and all this stuff. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Let me go back for 3 minutes and go see. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand the story. I see the story, but I don't know the question. I think maybe, how do you get rid of him? I think is what I got out of this, right? How you got rid, if not, just ask me again. But, I mean, he's still texting you today, sending you stuff. How did he do that on social media? So Misty, if he's a sociopath, which some doctor believes he is, diagnosed him that, they're the most sickest, obsessive people ever, okay? And it's not for the reasons you want or hope for that he's contacting you. He's trying to absolutely control you, and that's all they care about is exploiting people, okay? That's it, everyone. So how you get rid of him, go to a lawyer. I'm serious, I'd go to a lawyer. I'd fill out police reports. I'd move for a restraining order, protection order, something like that, temporary, whatever you can get, whatever the court allow, and a lawyer will tell you what to do with that and what you can get, what your rights are, what you should do. Document every single thing that happens, everything. The message. And when you document things, guys, like this, attach what it did to you, how it made you feel, not just this happened. Do it while it's fresh. This made me extremely anxious. I had a panic attack, had to take work off that day. You know what I mean? Okay? Date, time, everything. Do not reply no matter what. Most likely, Misty, he's getting something from you still. He's hearing that it's affecting you from someone else. You're messaging back just saying, stop, leave me alone. Something you might be doing still that he's getting something out of it. Okay? But people like this, just go to the law. Don't feel bad. It could be simple as a lawyer writing a letter, make him stop, unless you want to take him to court and sue him. That's where I let people hang themselves, give them enough rope to hang, right? Wait a while, let them go crazy and cause all kinds of damage to themselves, and then take them to court and sue them. But yeah, good luck. It really gets to a legal question. If you have more questions, you can ask me, but I would advise go to a lawyer. Thank you. So I'm going to stop part 1 here, guys. If you can help me, please. What I'm trying to do is just provide some information and try and make it big enough for people that looking for answers stumble upon it and just at least have some direction on where to go. So if you could help this get bigger, you can vote, you can comment, you can share it, post it, and thank you all for sharing this. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in part 2. Bye-bye.